today. I've got a meeting in about exactly half an hour. I've got some clients in person. Got some work to do on my business, and it is Friday. It's going to be snowing starting in a few hours, and it's going to snow throughout the rest of the day, throughout the night. So the weather's not going to be too good. I have plans to maybe go to the simulator with my stepdad later today, but we're going to see if that happens. It's going to be snowing a lot, and it's just going to get worse. So it might just be a chill day in, no golf, but I've got a run and I've got a lower body strength workout planned. After my meeting at 6:30, I've got a little bit of time, maybe like a couple hours till my first client. So usually I like to knock out that first morning run as early as I can. I just love my coffee routine so much. There's nothing better than waking up early, taking your time, and just sipping on a coffee. So what I'll typically do is I'll make my coffee, open my computer up, do a little bit of work, whatever that may be. But I like to do a little bit of stretching, foam rolling. I have a Theragun, so I'll use that. I hired a mentor to grow my online coaching business. They've helped me set everything up. And how it works is basically eventually a lot of these things, like 90% of these systems, become automated. And what I've built out is a 14-day, I call it my 14-day distance blueprint. And it's essentially a behind-the-scenes look into my paid program. So it's a strength training program for golfers who want to hit the ball farther and get in a better shape, get stronger, get bigger. Right now I'm actually running my first 14-day challenge and got some people in. Crickets. There's one guy who's been consistent and he showed up and he's been engaged, but for the most part it's sort of been a flop, and that's alright. It's all a learning process. This is my first challenge. I don't expect even my second or third or fourth iteration of the challenge to, get amazing results. But the goal is to build kind of this funnel that converts people into paying customers. There's a long way to go, but I'm really excited because of the opportunity and the vision that I have. The next challenge is going to be a little bit better, a little bit different. I feel I'll get some more engagement, they'll make some sales, get some feedback, and the process continues. I think that's a really good life lesson, to try not to be a perfectionist before you put yourself out there, before you start doing something. You just need to get going and do the thing and start, and you'll learn along the way. That's the best way to learn, is just doing and messing up and failing, making changes and doing it again. Because if you don't just do it and get started, you won't really know what needs to be changed. You can guess, you can make educated guesses, but you won't really know because you haven't experienced it and you haven't gotten feedback, you haven't tried things and failed and made changes. You're just guessing. If you're in a place right now where you're just on the fence about something, try just doing it anyway. It's scary, it's unsettling, it's uncomfortable, but if you just lean into that discomfort and know that, yeah, there are going to be some things that aren't going to pan out exactly how you see it going or how you hope it would go, just know that going in, but do it anyway, and you're going to learn so much more doing it that way than trying to guess what could go wrong. And there's always going to be things that you don't see coming, and the only way to improve on those is to just do. So if there's anything that you've been wanting to do, just do it, and you're going to fail. But failing is the best way to learn, and that's what I've learned. Cheers. All right, I want to show you something. That's cold. So every winter, the last couple, this would be like, I think my third winter in a row, I set up my ice bath. Last winter I did an ice bath every day for I think it was 60 plus days straight, but pretty much throughout the winter I did an ice bath almost every morning. Typically in the summer I don't do very many, but now that it's getting cold, snow, it's that time of year to start doing ice baths. Got my meeting this morning, got my run, and I'm gonna dive right in to that freezing cold water. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna run outside. I might. Be cold though. Kind of this weird knee pain behind my right knee. It's not all the time. I've been running a lot, so I don't know if it's because of that. It's just pounding on the pavement, stuff that I haven't really done before, but I'm trying to figure it out. And it's not all the time. Usually when I stretch it out, it starts to feel better, but like, you know what's the weirdest, the worst pain is when I take off my shoe on my right side. So I'll like hold my shoe in place with my left foot. Pull up with my right leg to get my foot out of my shoe. Just something happens, something grabs, I don't know. But I'm gonna keep testing things, keep stretching out, keep rolling, keep using the Theragun. Hopefully it resolves itself. A little cold outside. Get a few miles in. I don't know if you can tell, but it's snowing. And it's not going to stop for a while. It's going to be a good one. I feel like Rocky Balboa when I run in the snow. So what I've been sipping on here is G1M Sport, along with 8 ounces of coconut water. G1M Sport is a pre-workout, pre-training fuel source, so it's just carbohydrates and electrolytes. Perfect for going out for a run. And then the coconut water, more electrolytes. If you're not using coconut water for pre, intra, and post workouts, start doing it. What I like about G1M Sport is it's easy on your gut, so you're not out there on your run feeling all gassy. All right, let's finish up this stretching and let's go for a run in the snow, Rocky Balboa style. Done, walk some miles.
About a mile in. It's cold. It's hard to see. Because the snow is coming right at me. Listen to that sound. I'm obsessed with that sound. .1 done.
3.1 miles done. There's the results. 27:45. Average pace 8:57 minute per mile. Easy run out in the cold. Felt pretty good. Legs, they're all red. That was a good one. So just got back from my run. 3.1 miles, 27 minutes, 46 seconds, something like that. Felt pretty good. My easy runs a couple of months ago were like 10.5 minutes. When I first started like consistently running about 4 months ago, it was like 11 minutes was truly easy. And like obviously I could run faster than that, but it wasn't easy. It wasn't like a true easy pace. And it's been slowly dropping, but that's only because I've been consistent, and it's not easy to see day to day, but take a step back and you look at it week to week, month to month, and progress is consistent as long as you're consistent, as long as you're willing to do the work. Today's easy pace run in the cold, first snowy run in a long time, was under 9-minute pace, and it was easy. I wasn't breathing too hard, and it really felt easy. And something else that I've been trying to improve is my 5K time. And today I did a 5K and it was an easy run, so it wasn't an as fast as possible 5K, but my most recent 5K PR was 24 minutes and 48 seconds, I believe. And a week prior, that was actually earlier this week, and last week I hit a PR of 25 minutes and 15 seconds. That felt pretty good, and I wanted to get sub 25 minutes, and I didn't. So then this week I was like, all right, I'm gonna make it happen. I think a long-term goal for 2025, I'm gonna get sub 20 minutes. That's the goal. We are some perfectly toasted garlic sourdough bread. Don't think that's it. This one's better. Some eggs, scrambled eggs with feta, and 505 hatch green chili sauce. Breakfast for champions. Yep, that'll do. So on the agenda for today, right now I'm gonna rinse off. I'm gonna hop in the ice bath. After that, got some work to do. And then I've got a lower body strength workout later today. And that'll wrap up the day. Just got out of the shower, rinsed off from my morning run. You gotta rinse off before you get in the ice tub. I fill it up with a 5-gallon bucket. And it takes about, probably like 75 gallons. So, it's quite a few trips back and forth from the tub to the ice bath outside through the apartment with a 5-gallon bucket full of water. And so you gotta keep it as clean as possible. Otherwise, you're gonna be doing that multiple times a week. If I do it every day, it's probably about a week. I'll change it up, empty it out, clean it out. Sometimes maybe 2 weeks. But if I didn't rinse off, it'd be like 3 days. It'd be kind of nasty. So gotta rinse off before you get in that ice tub. Here I go. As you can see, it's pretty cold out. There's the tub, lid's off. And I'm gonna shoot for about 60 seconds. We'll play it by ear here for this first one of the season, the winter. It's gonna be a cold one, but it's gonna be good. minute, 10 seconds. Here we go. Definitely a nice bath. It has been a while. Last winter, I'd do this for 3 minutes. I'd have to break up. This would be a full block of ice. I'd have to dump a bucket of hot water in it just to break up the ice. And I'd hop in for 3 to sometimes 5 minutes at a time. Oh, it's crazy how the human body can adapt and how it does adapt as long as you're consistent with the inputs that you're putting in. It's already a minute. Let's go a little bit longer. The human body can adapt so quickly if you just give it a little bit, give it the right input. And sometimes, yeah, it takes time, but in the grand scheme of things happen fast. Alright, got a dunk. Oh, okay, that was a lame dunk. Oh. Okay. The camera wet. Oh. That was cold. Okay. First one of the season done. It's just gonna get easier. And I'm just gonna keep getting better. Alright, lunchtime. Tuna. I keep my tuna salad simple. We got tuna, we got mayonnaise, we got celery. That's all you need. Don't let anybody tell you different. You know, it's kind of gross and kind of sad though. I have been craving tuna today, or maybe more than just today, but I think it's because of the food, the cat food that we feed Blue. Because it smells like tuna. There's probably tuna in there. Don't judge me. Lunch is served. Yum. So a couple years ago, I was in a pretty rough mental headspace. And, you know, it was like 2022. COVID was pretty much over, but it had been a rough kind of couple of years. And, you know, emotionally, personally, financially, in your 20s, you're just learning, you're trying all these things, and you're failing, and you're trying as hard as you can, and things just, you're learning how to fail. And I was struggling with that. And things were just tough. And I started to research depression and how to kind of work through your issues and figure out how to get past this rough period that I was in, that I had been in for a long time, I didn't even realize, but it just kept building. And there's one week where I was pretty much in bed every day, all week. And I was like, okay, something's off. Something is for sure off. And so I just started kind of going down this rabbit hole, and I happened upon a Andrew Huberman podcast about dopamine and serotonin and norepinephrine, which is basically adrenaline. And Andrew Huberman, if you haven't heard his podcast or seen his YouTube channel, go check it out. His content's awesome. He interviews all these people at the top of their fields, and it's a lot to do, mostly to do with health. brain health, mental health, physical health, and he interviews these people and talks about things that you can actually implement. It's practical, and he gives you action steps. And so I happened upon this one episode about dopamine, and they talked a lot about ice baths, cold plunging. And the thing about cold plunging is that because it's such a huge shock to your system, to your central nervous system, the dopamine rush, the serotonin rush, the adrenaline that just spikes in your body is what helps with depression. And with depression, it's an imbalance, a chemical imbalance in your brain, in your body, and that's why it's so hard to treat. It's not like you can't just snap out of it. It's a physical chemical imbalance going on in your body where there's not enough dopamine. And so taking ice baths, there's a lot of research behind this, that when you take consistent ice baths, it's not just physical, it literally changes what's going on in your brain and in your whole body. And so there's obviously, I love the ice bath for physical benefits, but man, mentally, that's the reason why I started it. And for a long time, that was the main driver, and it still is, really. I was in a tough place mentally, and it was hard to just keep pressing on. And each day it just felt like there was less and less hope and less opportunity. And when you feel that way, it's hard to get out of bed in the morning. It's hard to do what's necessary to move forward and get better, improve yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, professionally. All these things are super important. And if you are off chemically, if you're feeling just hopeless, like, it's just hard. There's so many people out there that feel like this. And if you haven't tried, try a bunch of things. Go talk to people, try therapy. There's so many things that you can do, but one very practical thing that you can start to implement to just get on that path of recovery is take an ice bath in the morning. First thing, right when you get up. If you haven't tried it, I really encourage you to try it. Not just because of the physical, not just because it's become a fad. Yes, it's become a fad, it's become popular, you see everybody doing it. But there's a reason why people are doing it. It's not just because, I'm gonna hop on this bandwagon and start doing ice baths because, it's the cool thing to do. Yeah, it's become popular, but there's a reason behind it. I really encourage you to, whether you're struggling or not, try taking an ice bath once a week, twice a week, and see how it changes things. Because even if you're feeling great, there's always room for improvement. It's uncomfortable, but you'll hear me say this time and time again. If you aren't uncomfortable, you're not challenging yourself enough. You're not growing. Lean into the discomfort of the ice bath, of the sauna, of training, putting yourself out there emotionally. Just put yourself out there and get uncomfortable, because that's the only way, is the best way for you to learn and to grow. And you learn from one thing and you can take it to the next. So even if it's as simple as starting with a 60-second ice bath like I did today, you start to adapt, and you can take what you learn from one thing and your life compounds, and you start to get better, you start to feel better, and you start to grow. Just did a little haul. We went for one thing.
Yes.
We went for one thing.
We got Starbucks.
And we got Starbucks. Yum. We had to get the peppermint mochas. Halloween's over. I don't care if it's early November. It is Christmas season. All right, there are 2 priorities right now. 1, protein. 2, dinner. All right, that is everything that's gonna be in our white chicken chili tonight. Pretty easy, half of it's spices. And all these spices could have been purchased in one packet. We just weren't at the right store, so. Besides those spices, all it is beans, garlic, onion, a little bit of bone broth, some chicken, a bunch of spices. It's gonna be yummy. All right, Ellie's gonna show you our spice drawer. We're pretty proud of this one. It's sort of a DIY project.
No, I can't see it. We color coded it.
We got a bunch of stuff we like never use. I use cardamom a little bit. Lemon pepper, I don't think I've used that ever. Ginger, I use a little bit.
We just took all our spices though, so.
Gram masala, I would use that, but Ellie is not a big Indian food person. And then like curry powder, I use that. It's all for show.
Except for we're the only ones that see it.
Feel fancy, you are fancy. Pro tip, be careful with the salt. You can always add it, and take it out. I'm definitely a heavy seasoner. So occasionally things turn out a little salty or a little over seasoned, so I'm trying to be better about that.
Well, only if you use a seasoning that already has salt and real rice.
That happens all too often. Yeah, we have this like garlic, wood-fired garlic seasoning that didn't realize it was there was like already like a decent amount, like it's a salted base seasoning. And then of course I added like a ton of salt. And that first bite, whew, was like taking a sip of the ocean. So, it happens. Alright. She's ready to go. Probably about 45 minutes. Like I said, I'm kind of winging this. But 45 minutes, that chicken will be nice and soft and it'll be shredded. Nice white chicken chili in the Instapot. If you don't have an Instapot, it's similar to a crock pot, but it's just like 10 times faster. 45 minutes. Let it pressurize. We're gonna have some dinner. There she is. And there's the finished product. We're gonna dig in. We're watching a movie. So we'll see you in the next one.